Hey everybody, Elizabeth Varian here. How are you doing? Let me get this moved over. Boy, have I had quite a week, all filled with blessings with my main business. So it took this recording to be delayed. Doesn't mean we delayed our writing of it though. I'm still working on sound with my mic, so hopefully I've got it. So last week we talked about energy vibration 101. We discussed how it's measured. The energy vibration is measured in hertz. I had somebody say, well, that's not what energy is measured in. No, but energy vibration is. So that's the difference. And that the way we can tell if we're in low energy vibration or high energy vibration without having to have some sort of meter around is to judge by our thoughts and our emotions and how is our body acting or reacting. Is it tense? Is it concaved and tightened? Or is it relaxed and free? Expansive energy is positive and high, and contracted energy is low, typically. Like if you're angry, you tense your body up, but when you're happy, you're kind of flying all about. So we started to talk about 4 different points about energy vibration that you should learn. I've added a few more on, or at least one that I'm aware of because I haven't really read this in a while. But I wanted to go even deeper with it. And I don't know how well I'm going to do on time here, but I'm going to try and keep it as prompt as possible. But I want to be thorough and make sure that it's understood because everything is about energy vibration. You can think about words, but if you have no energy behind it, no vibration behind it, the words don't matter. Which is why you can insult one person and they get mad. You can insult another person and they're like, has no energy vibration behind it. So we kind of want to get there on contrasting energy or events that show up and happen that we don't appreciate or desire to have again. We want to put energy of positivity behind those events and experiences that show up that we do like and want more of. So if you didn't see that video, go and check out the YouTube channel, and I'll try and remember to put a link in the post on Facebook so that you can go and get that. So the very first one that we pointed out was you attract, like a magnet, the energy you put out. So if you're attracting, if you're trying to attract joy in your life, but your energy is unforgiveness, hatred, anger, low energy, your vibration is putting out the complete opposite of what you're trying to attract, which is why they say I was talking to my mom about the pendulum, when you want to go positive, but negative thoughts come up, instead of focusing over here where your positive is and your intention is, your pendulum switches over here to complete opposite direction when the fear sets in, the limiting beliefs set in, or anything that shows opposing energy to what you're desiring. So if you're desiring to bring in fun and joy in your life, but you're complaining about politics and the way of the world is so rotten and the people are horrible and look how they drive, etc., then your focus isn't here on the intention, it's over here, and you want to swing that pendulum back over here by bringing joy energy back into it, to be excited, gratitude or blessings, feeling blessed. Love energy is a high energy. Empowerment, all of those are good high energies. The vibration will attract more things that you hate, be angry about, victimhood, experiences to keep you in more unforgiveness, And vibration directs your attention, your focus, and what shows up. So back to the pendulum, I will give credit where credit is due. I learned about the pendulum from self-discovery, maybe not in this specific format. Hey, Sharon. So over here is where my desire is, but my energy, my focus, and vibrations are over here. We want to swing it back over here by being in elation and joy and love and all those high. So you have actually the power in you to shift these techniques, or a simple shift technique, I should say. And I have to tell you, I've just had a conversation the other day where someone called me up and they're like, oh, Elizabeth, I figured out why this manifestation didn't come about over here and it's now coming about. I didn't realize that my alignment, not her words, I'm just putting in mine to make it go, with my speech. But she said, my alignment was looking at XYZ. I wanted a view. I wanted to move to this location. I wanted to have this. But I realized what I love about where I'm at now wasn't part of that. And now I've connected with it. I found another place, the absolute place. And then she went from general speak, which I have mentioned and will mention again. She went from general speak, which slows momentum down. Life is good. I feel good. I want a house. I desire a house. I'm going to move. To very specific. Sent me the photo, said this is where my room is going to be, this is where my gym is going to be, this is the way the cats and I will be, this is the way my visitors will be, this is the way that this will be, this is what my daily routine will be like. Very finite specifics, momentum. I just felt it. And then had a negative, and I used this exact explanation. I'm like, whoa, you just shifted your pendulum over here. You need to shift it right back over here. Go back to give me descriptions of the house. Stay in that moment because that's the creative moment. So if you notice that you want your focus here, but your energy is pulling you over here, you want to stop for a moment. Change your thoughts to something completely different that brings you into joy, energy, vibration, makes you smile. And I have said it from the very beginning, joy energy is my favorite. It is one of the creative energies. Anything high energy is going to be creative. The way I explain joy energy to people is, how do you feel after a really good comedy show where you have just belly gut laughed? That joy, that energy, and oh my gosh, I love this joke and this whatever. That's the best way of explaining joy energy. So anything that will bring you to that level will be fantastic. I usually will go and get, if it's something that's got me really steep and I need to shift, and I've done all the steps of, I know it's not limiting beliefs, I know it's not obstacles, it's just my mind shifted. I'll put on Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy, the comedian, because he makes me laugh with good, clean humor that's hilarious, and it's my taste in humor. So stop for that moment when you feel your body tensing up. It doesn't have to be dramatic, just a tense. Relax it and realize your energy is low. Shift your thinking. Stop and think about whatever the low energy vibration thoughts are about and turn it around to something positive. So, I got a new client. They're a high budget client, and that's what I asked for. Okay, so let's take intentions of high budget clients who are easy, fun, and relaxed to work with, who pay their invoices promptly. So that's my thought. That client shows up. As the client shows up, this is just an example, then my pendulum swings over here because I'm now going, Am I worthy of this? Can I do the work? Is that possible? So let's use that for what we just said. The answer would be, I absolutely can do this job. I've done this job before. I've done many sites like this before. I've received many compliments over sites that I've done before. This client is going to be thrilled, going to be happy. I have a fan on me, so I'm going to drink more. Going to be happy. They're going to love it just like every other client that I've built it. Right? If it's a fear thought of something that hasn't happened, you're not in the middle of it. My kid is going off to a missions trip in a third world nation. All these bad things could happen, blah, blah, blah. Shift the same way. My son is going off to a missions trip. He is going to be blessing other people. And in return, he is going to receive immense blessings, life transforming experiences. He's going to get his fingers in the dirt, and he's going to add skill set to people who don't have the capability or the materials, and he's doing a good thing. So you're turning around, okay? And the last thing is what I had stated about the person that called me with the excitement of the new house that they are intending. You take your thoughts less specific and more general, or you shift back over. So that isn't a good example. I'll give you another one. So Abraham Hicks teaches if you want to slow down momentum, go general in your speech and your thoughts. If you want to speed up the momentum, you go specific. So if you're in low energy, you don't want to speed that up of negative things happening. You want to go general. If you're in good energy vibration, you get specific because you want to get more momentum going. And basically a good example is if you stubbed your toe first thing in the morning. Right? You stop the negative shift to, I love my bedroom, how my bedroom is decorated. I have reasons to shop for a remote light switch now and turn it on before I get out of bed. The day is going to be the best day ever. Shift, focus, shift, energy. So instead of the stub my toe where the first thing, oh, this sucks, I hate this, and you're very specific in these finite things, then go general. No, wait a minute. This happens. I love my bedroom. I love how I've decorated it. Oh, I have a good reason to go shopping now. Hallelujah. I love to shop. And I think a remote light switch would be fantastic. One with my cell phone or a switch, whatever. This is the best day ever. Okay? The number 2, detaching from being aware of your emotional state will become a continual form of chaos and confusion when you try to manifest desires in reality. If you don't pay attention to what your energy vibration is, you're going to go from highs to lows, to highs to lows, to highs to lows, to frustration, to reaction, and being reactive is rarely positive. If you do not learn to stop and check in with your emotions, again, you'll find that manifesting feels like a roller coaster of ups and downs. As stated, your emotions, feelings, energy vibrations, thoughts attract into your life. So many people are going through this life on autopilot. We're focused on what we perceive is reality, what we can see with our eyes. Yet we know in the world of manifestation, if you're a Christian, you call it heaven. If you're not a Christian, you call it the infinite source of possibility, the vortex, the realm of all being, whatever term you use. That's where we're creating. But here in reality, or what we call reality, is what we already created. The best example that just literally popped into my head that I never thought of is your fingernail. Now, I have no fingernails because I type all day. But we know, or if you don't know, this very first part of your finger, let me make sure I'm turned. The dead nail is here. That's what you paint if you're a female or a male. But this is the part that is typically seen. That's your reality. This part under here is called the nail bed. This is where the fingernail is being grown and is starting. This is the live nail underneath here. And years ago, I learned the separation of the two because I had done something with the fingernail, and I was told if you want your nails to go stronger, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but we can use the law of attraction if you want to, then you massage the nail bed, and they had lotion and stuff that you could put there. Let's set all that stuff aside and just look at this as reality. If you are going through life and you're not paying attention to what your vehicle is telling you, the engine light is going off, low energy, hatred, unforgiveness, sadness, depression, right? If we're not paying attention to the engine light of our vehicles, our bodies, then we're only focused on the nail bed. And we're reacting to whatever is showing up in the nail bed, aka reality. But as far as the nail is concerned, this is no longer, you can't do anything to this to make your nail any nicer. If you want to do something, you've got a massage here, lotion here, whatever it is, the live nail is under the skin in the bed, the part you cannot see. That's where we are creating our real reality, our intentions. We're attracting and bringing things to us, whether you call it heaven, whether you call it infinite source of possibilities, vortex, whatever you want to call it. But that is the realm, the unseen, okay? And if you're not paying attention to, and you're only paying attention here, then what this is going to create in this realm is going to be more of what you see here. So if I break off a nail here and I just keep picking at it with, without paying attention to it. Many people have that habit of nail biting. So this is a phenomenal analogy in my opinion. It's not mine, it just came to me. So if you keep picking at it, then as the nail grows, you're going to keep getting that split. But if you ignore that and trim it off as it comes along, you just deal with reality as it goes, then the new nail growing up from the nail bed will be stronger and not have the split. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course with your nails, vitamins are important, and fish oils and the like, but that is not regarding our analogy here. So it is good to pay attention to how you're feeling, because how you're feeling is affecting the part that you can't see. What is going to be coming in? Similar to when you're driving home from work, not paying attention to your emotions, you get home and you can't recall the turn by turn. That's how a lot of people are going in this life. If you keep a notepad with you, set an alarm to go off throughout the day and stop and ask yourself, check in with yourself. How am I feeling right now? Am I relaxed? Am I contracted? Or am I inward and tight? Am I expansive and free? What is it? So I'm going to explain this, which I did not have last week. I just started it this week. So I had gained 15 pounds, no complaints. I am who I am. After being sick and being on cough drops for the longest time. I didn't think about the repercussions, but the cough drops, though they helped my throat, they made me crave carbs. And I didn't check in and pay attention to diet. I just ate whatever came along, mindless eating. So I have decided, I gained 15 pounds from between March and May, which is where we're at now. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to use law of attraction to shift me into eating at home instead of fast food. I actually have attached to my monitor over here a note that says, eat dinner at home, goal is most important. I also have a sign right next to it, because words matter, that say, I love working out. And I see them all day long, so they seep in. Well, the other thing is you're supposed to drink 64 ounces of water a day. I had my blinker light, but I could ignore my blinker light. I realized if I get 16 or more ounces, my brain says, no. But I need to create this habit. So what did I do? I have an 8-ounce red Solo cup. And yes, the song does hit into my head every time I drink. And then I have set up in Google Calendar. You don't have to pay for things. In Google Calendar, from 9 to 5, that's 8 hours. Every hour on the hour, I have a notification that goes off. It goes off on my computer. It goes off on my cell phone that says, drink 8 ounces. So I drink my 8 ounces within the hour. Not always right away. You do get waterlogged and bathroom visits do increase. But it makes me pay attention to my habit. In addition to paying attention to creating the habit, which someone on Facebook said, Elizabeth, after a while you'll just continue drinking, you won't need to do that. Absolutely, that's true, which is why I'm telling you about this now. So I have my gallon of water here and my 8 ounces, and I continually will drink. As I'm doing this habit, I'm remembering my goal of where I'm shooting for, and I'm making sure that I remember the weight on the scale and the way I want to feel when I'm drinking. But creating this habit out of something I'm not used to. I would maybe drink 8 ounces in a day. Was probably dehydrated because I liked my coffee, my vitamin water, anything with energy to it, or anything other than water. So you want to check in with your energy vibration. Then you do the same thing as what I'm doing with my water. You just don't have the gallon. You set alarms off on Google Calendar to check in with yourself. And as my friend on Facebook said, eventually you're just going to be in the habit. I am continually in the habit of stopping and checking in throughout the day with how I'm feeling. And it's a great habit because then you know when your eye is supposed to be over here, but your energy has you focused over here. So again, eventually you won't need it. Still doing good on time. So when words, events, and anything creates an emotional reaction, remember I said about being reactive, is an energy vibration of knowing whether you dislike or like or have a block of something. So let me restate that. That's why I took specific notes this time, and I'm more reading than just using them as bullet points. When words, events, or anything in the reality, the nail you can see in this part, when it creates an emotional reaction, it is an energy vibration of knowing, so it's a sign to you as to whether you like or dislike something, or you have a block. Like and dislike. So Abraham Hicks calls it contrast energy instead of negative energy. Because what you may not like, somebody else may like. So contrast energy or contrast events, dating this guy and you hated how you felt in the relationship, goes, these things I didn't like about him, that's not what I want in my next one. So this contrasting, this energy vibration that makes you feel contracted is good in helping you to define and decide what you like or dislike. Or it's a sign to you that you have a block. So when you start drinking your water, 8 ounces every hour, and you start paying attention to your body, your thoughts, your emotions and feelings, then you're going to really start better defining your intentions list. I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I get this correct. You start to create your intentions list as your mouth starts to speak out your new intentional truth. You feel a knot in your stomach. Your mind struggles to create the vision. Have you ever said, you know what, Elizabeth, I want to create $10,000 in 2 months, or 30 days, whatever. But when I do, visually, I cannot see that 10,000. Well, that starts to give you information about yourself. Or you get some people say they get an intense knot in their stomach. It's not a flightiness, but it seriously cannot see a vision of an outcome. Your body becomes contracted. That's your inner guidance speaking to you. That's why I wanted to make sure I read that properly. I really want for you to get this. The inner guidance, whether you call it intuition, Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever, Tao, is telling you there's a misconnection somewhere. Either you dislike it, or what's being spoken is a limiting belief, block, or obstacle, or both. So you have to stop and consider, is it a word that is making your stomach knot up or your body contract? If it is, take a piece of paper out with that word and write down everything that comes to mind and around that word. And then, like above, find a positive connection to it. Be more specific about shifts. To be more specific about shifts, I need to cover that in a different video. Yeah, I was like, we don't want to go into shifting today. But you want to go general about the word, like we set up above or previously. Finding ways to generate positive energy vibration. So let me give you an example. Someone had said they have issue with the word rich, R-I-C-H, rich people, rich living, rich lifestyle, being rich, and that they literally had a knot in their stomach. And I'm like, well, that's your attachment to the word. So one of the best books I always recommend is T. Harv Eker's book, Millionaire Mind. And the reason is because it goes through our limiting beliefs. But you can write down the word rich and then write down every thought that comes up. And I'll pray first and say, okay, Lord, show me what it is about this word that I'm not aware of that I need to be. Everything I feel about this word. And a lot of times it could be how you were raised. They put rich people down. Rich people are good for nothing. Rich this. Rich people are greedy. None of that's true, by the way. But that's an association that happened to that word. And so when you get that knot, that's saying there's something with that word that you need to shift out. So you go general. Find a word like wealthy, being more specific, millionaire, $10,000 in my bank account, something like that to shift from rich, but you need to work to shift rich out. And that one specifically, the Millionaire Mind, will definitely help. And my recommendations for her was go around blessing rich people. Because what you put out comes back. Additionally, start paying attention to your body when thoughts come in strong. For me, this is becoming something that I have not figured out yet, and when I do, I will definitely share it with you. I've had people give me all sorts of advice, and none of it seems to be working. And it's not because I don't believe it won't be working. It just hasn't. I will try anything. I'll do the hokey pokey and turn myself about if it has to. So I'm an intuitive empath. And what that means, intuitive, is I will connect to have some forethought, but an empath means I can feel other people's emotions. And I'm very, very sensitive to other people's energy vibrations, where they don't have to be in the same room with me. They could be out and about. I could not have met them yet. They're going to come in my path, I found, for one of them, because I'm able to connect it after the fact. But my body will become contracted and tense, and it's not actually my own thoughts and emotions, but someone else's. And I'm still learning how to stop this. And again, paying attention to my body, and I'm learning the differential thought process, the energy, the heaviness of the thoughts compared to my own thoughts. People who say, I heard from God, Jesus spoke to me, God spoke to me, Spirit spoke to me, they usually are saying that because they hear something in their thoughts that the pattern is different than their own. Their own pattern could be this way, but it comes in this way. You know, it's very different from our own thoughts. So if you're an empath, I had someone say put both feet on the ground. Someone else tell me to do swirling, and I've tried it. I'm praying up daily. But mostly I'm learning to pay attention to the thoughts and that heaviness. So when it comes to that feeling, sometimes it may be outside of you if you are an empath. And I don't think being an empath is a rare thing. I think it's just like me for many years up until last year, we just don't know it. We know there's something odd. You know, we're able to speak things to people's lives. For years, I've always said, if someone goes, wow, I really needed to hear that. Well, I know the words didn't come to me. Just like the nail bed, I don't take credit where, I give credit where credit's due. I don't take it as my own. I always say, I didn't know that you needed that, so apparently someone else did, right? So that's the other thing to keep in mind when you do start getting where your body's contracted, that it may be an inner guidance as to whether you dislike something, have a limiting belief or a block. Or if you find you're an empath, it may be somebody else's, and you need to learn that separation. Okay, number 3. Matching the energy to your desire creates the momentum for bringing it in or near. Now, the person that said, that called me up, that was telling me about this excitement and this change, they're like, God knew all the time. And I'm like, yes. Knows everything. And I said, we always have to remember the phrase that circumstances are happening right now to bring it about. Because sometimes right now, this second, isn't happening because there's other circumstances that may need to happen first. In this person's case, they had to realize that what they were focusing on didn't align with their love and joy. And that's what they were focused on, was having love and joy in a new place. So matching the energy is basically we're paying attention to the energy vibrations. Now we want to use this energy vibration. We're paying attention. We know where we're going. Now we want to use it for our benefits, right? That's why we're watching these videos. That's why I'm recording these videos. I want to use these energy vibrations that I know. And basically, I use them basically all the time today. So ultimately, I'll find a new way to say it. What it is saying is you get the energy vibration first, attached to the visual, and then it manifests. You take your vitamins, you massage the nail bed, then the nail grows. You can't just wait till you see it before you add the attachment of the vibration. This is where the as if gets confusing for people, and other people tell you, oh, go buy those designer handbags when you're highly in debt. That's not what as if means. So you get your energy vibration to match the experience, the people, places, and things you wish to manifest. So what does it look like? If you're trying to attract a relationship or improve the current relationship that you're in, then you close your eyes and you play your movie, your visual scene, and you feel the love, you feel the emotions as if, there's your as if, you are in that relationship. It has improved to where it's a desire. You have the feeling of him or her adoring you. I should say them, because the word polyamory came up this week. So I should say him, her, or them adore you, love you, put their arms around you. Money, bringing your energy and emotions alongside visualizing as if you already have it. How does it feel to get that check in the mail? What does it feel like to have that raise at work? Get that new client? How exciting is this? We started for Live Joy Today a Redbubble store, and where we're creating manifesting products. In fact, there's a shirt that's on there for the I Am a Money Magnet. It uses this design with these words here, not these words here. And I'm excited to get it. I can't wait to get it. But I went into the activities and there's orders. And then of course I'm like, oh wait, those are my orders. But now I know exactly what energy I want to feel to get more orders. There's orders. Hey, I'm so excited. I love seeing orders. See that energy vibration change to, God, I really want some orders. I hope some buyers show up. Hey, I have some orders. Back over here. So money, how does it feel? Be in the emotion as if you have it and hold it as long as you can. Esther Hicks teaches 17 seconds and then 17 and then 17, where you get to, it's pretty much an hour at a time, but 10 to 15 minutes on a daily average. Just get into that and stay there as often as you can. You can schedule it or just have little mementos around that trigger, that intention that you want. So those were the topics that I had said I was going to talk on last week. I had a couple of two add-ons that you may not be aware of. And I've used the word humor before, but I did not use this specific type of humor. I have a couple people in my life that keep popping up with this type of humor, and this is a type of humor I was raised with, that I had, and I am trying to shift it all out so I can keep my pendulum over here. So what is that? Sarcasm. Sarcasm is illegal in the Bible. It's not illegal, it's a sin. I was actually going to look up what the verse was, but I forgot to. Because sarcasm, if you look it up, is humor with the underlying intent to cause harm. That's not what we as a society call sarcasm. It's wit, but it's got either self-deprecation or deprecation of something, putting someone else down, and that actually will hurt you. So many times, especially sarcastic humor, it's an outward mask for an inner belief. And I've mentioned this before about my weight. By the way, I love me. I love that I feel comfortable being in front of you without having to fully style my hair. I love having my bun. I like it if I have makeup on or if I don't have makeup on. I love me. I love my body. And as my friend on Facebook, Dawn, says, I'm releasing the extra weight. But I have to love me as I am now. Otherwise, it doesn't shift out. So I wanted to pre-stipulate that because I went from 123 pounds to 143 pounds for a high school reunion in 20 years, so 2010. And then I continued after that to 186 pounds. And it was all because of a joke. I knew exactly what it was. I had joked about being fat, even though I was 123 pounds for 5'3.5". That's not fat. That's a size 6 in current day sizes. So my motivation then slowed to a halt. My cravings for carbs increased, and sugars and sweets, and my working out tanked. And you can say, oh, that's silly, I'm not allowed to joke anymore. I say I have physical proof for my sarcastic sense of humor that worked against me. I know I lived it. I knew exactly what caused it. It wasn't that you lost weight and then turned around and got it back, because I was still working out when I made the joke. I was still motivated. So it's up to you. Keep your sarcasm or create the life you desire. I'm just giving this information out there. So we tend to also live more reactive than proactive. And I kind of touched on this earlier. And we're doing great on time. I'm not recommending that you start thinking of all the bad scenarios out there and how to deal with them in a law of manifestation way, because that's actually counterproductive. That is what the person was doing when they called me up, where they were focused, very specific about all these things, and then an obstacle came up. Oh, but I'm going to deal with it this way. I'm like, why deal with it? And I know this person's a Christian, so I said, why don't you just say when the thought comes up, you know what, God's got my back. He'll deal with it if it ever comes up, or it'll never come up. And come back over here and be specific. So what I am doing is not trying to come up with all the answers to obstacles, but I'm recommending for you to learn to be less reactive. Start training yourself to give a length of time between reacting to the stimulant that's creating anger, depression, low energy, fear, whatever. And then use Abraham Hicks' specific to general method to find a better way to act towards whatever or whoever is the stimulant of negative or low energy. And the reason I say that, and I know that if, just like my drinking water, the first day that I did this, I was so waterlogged. I'm on the third day. I'm doing good. I've got one more glass and I'm done for the day. But it gets easier as you go along. Have you ever met someone that when you're talking to them, they're listening to you, and then when it's time for them to respond, they just sit there, and then they come in? You know they've actually sat and thought about how they want to respond to it. That's what we need to be more like when it comes to being reactive. And so if we can learn to pay attention to us, I've said it before, become a student of the University of You. I am up to probably a master's of, I don't have my PhD yet, but of Elizabeth Varian University. And as I keep going in new courses, that means as I get older and I learn more about myself, things happen and change, I am able to pull back. The one thing I've been working on, and I can't recall if I mentioned it to you or not, is when I'm driving on 95 on our freeway, going from home to work, one of my biggest issues is always watching the cars who are zipping up on people's butts, zipping over, cutting people off. I was seeing them everywhere, and I was so tense by the time I got to the office. So I got these Abraham Hicks CDs, and I thought, well, I'll just listen to those, no problem at all. And I'm going to tell you, it didn't help no matter what, because I would listen and still see it. What I did was I started paying attention. Wait, my foot and my legs are tense on, one's on the gas pedal and the other one's just tensed up. I'm gripping the steering wheel and I don't like this. I know that I'm creating this. And where my attention goes, energy flows, so I need to make some shifts. So what I've been doing is shifting to, oh, look at the pretty trees. And I've been saying, just like the how is none of my business, other people's driving is none of my business. And I have reduced, I would say 65% of my stress in driving. I haven't got there 100%. So instead of seeing 20 drivers on the way home or on the way to work, I may see one or two. So it's little nuggets of time, little baby steps, but shifting and going, paying attention to, the billboards. Obviously I'm paying attention to the road, but seeing those things around me, not looking in my rearview mirror every 5 seconds, not paying attention to what the cars are doing that aren't in my nearest vicinity. That has been helping considerably. So my hope is that teaching you about energy vibration and how it can be used to help you manifest or block your manifesting and how to learn to pay attention will actually help you to start manifesting bigger, better, and be more in alignment with the energy over here where you're focused on creating in the nail bed, rather than the pendulum over here where the energy will take you that is not positive or in alignment with what you're intending, and you're only focused on the nail itself, and allow you to just do amazing things in your life and with your intentions list. So I hope it's helpful for you. Leave comments below if you're getting something from these. I definitely appreciate it. I've been creating these videos continually just for myself, just for the simple fact that I love this topic. I love teaching, and I definitely am excited when someone gets it from, something from these. And of course, we have our Joyful Living store, pillows and mugs and affirmation books. We're down to just 5 of them now, so I'm gonna have to reorder some more once those are gone. And then we've got our Redbubble store where you can get these designs in clothing and journals and other things. So check them out. Until next week, bye.